That performance last night at the bridge from Chelsea against Sunderland was disgraceful and embarrassing. It was unacceptable. Chelsea losing to Sunderland at the bridge after 11 years. It was quite disgusting to see. If Chelsea had gone down to 10 men, I would have taken that for an excuse that, okay, we were down to 10 men. But with that, even if we were down to 10 men against Sunderland, Chelsea lost to Sunderland in such an embarrassing manner. That was disgraceful to see. Sunderland came to the bridge. They collapsed the bridge with a very beautiful tactics of football. And Chelsea were looking so sluggish, more or less like pregnant women that couldn't run. They were lazy, flat-footed. Kudos to Sunderland, who came with a purpose. And that purpose was just to get all 3 points. And they achieved their aim. That's football. That's football. Football have gone past the age of being so much, high-flying, with being so much in form. Football is being won by tactics. And the tactical approach by the Sunderland's manager and the team was top-notch. And they got the result. And well-deserved, I must say. Because the performance Chelsea put up at the bridge last night was very embarrassing. It was disgraceful. We lose to Sunderland, a newly promoted team to the Premier League. A team that left the English Premier League in 2017 to the second tier of English football. Couldn't even survive the second tier of English football. Got relegated again from the Championship to League One. Spent a couple of years in League One. The struggle as a team. Got promoted again to Championship in 2021-2022 season. They continued their fight and struggle. And in 2024-2025 season in the Championship, they finished among the top 6. And the first second qualified automatically to the Premier League. That is Leeds United and Burnley. Sunderland went through the playoff. And in the final at Wembley, they defeated Sheffield United and gained promotion to the Premier League for 2025-2026 EPL season. And that is the Sunderland that spent barely £100 million in the transfer window to secure players. And Chelsea that have spent over close to £300 million in signing of players, brought in a couple of players, and have spent over £1 billion in the last 4 seasons under Todd Boehly on players transfer could only come up with this disgraceful, embarrassing, and disgusting performance. It was really disgusting. Now, going into the game, personally, I had no worries with the selection Enzo Maresca actually put up. It was good to see. And that is why most of the time, in as much as I'll get to talk about Enzo Maresca in this match reaction, but then, for the selection Enzo Maresca actually put up, top notch. That selection was, it was quite good to take on any team. In goal was normal. Robert Sanchez was in goal. The fullback was Rhys James and Marco Kurela. The centre backs was George Achampong and Trevor Chalobah. The centre pairing, the pivot, was Enzo Fernandez and Moses Caicedo. And the 3 attacking midfield, the left wing was Alejandro Garnacho. The attacking midfield through was Pedro. And the right wing was Pedro Neto. Up front was Mark Dew. In my preview, I actually predicted the same starting 11. I got 10 over 11 in that predicted 11. Only Tavo William that didn't start in Enzo Maresca's selection last night. That team was good enough to take on any team. Like I said earlier, if Chelsea were down to 10 men, I would have taken that for an excuse. But saying it is fatigue coming from the UEFA Champions League is unacceptable because 8 players make the changes from the team that played in the midweek against Ajax. 8 players make that team. And Chelsea went on losing to Sunderland in Stanford Bridge by 2-1. By the way, big ups and big respects to Sunderland. They actually came to the bridge with a purpose. And their purpose was just to get 3 points. Their tactics was top-notch. It actually worked for them. Sitting back, they were well-focused, full of concentration. Their concentration level was very high. Chelsea started that game very poorly. poor state, how they started the game, in the 4th minute or 5th minute thereabout, Alejandro Garnacho, from a pass, with a long pass from Pedro Neto, actually take on the Sunderland defender, slots the ball, and it passed in between the legs of Sunderland goalkeeper. Chelsea went up 1-0. That should have been a confident boost and a morale that the team should have built on and went on to demolish or trash Sunderland. But no, after that goal, it's as if everything went locked up. Chelsea were looking very lazy, no creativity. Joao Pedro was flat-footed. I mean, it was uncalled for. It's unacceptable losing to Sunderland in such manner. That was not the kind of results Chelsea were actually expecting. But then, like I said earlier, sometimes in football, tactics over club form. And that is just what plays out yesterday. The Sunderland tactics worked for them. High-flying Chelsea coming into this game from the back of 4 straight wins couldn't even break the defense line of Sunderland. Couldn't break the defense line of Sunderland. I mean, it was really unacceptable. That result was unacceptable. Losing to Sunderland in such manner. And currently, what is happening, or what has happened? Manchester United, that were busy, strolling. Currently, Manchester United are ahead of Chelsea in the Premier League standing. The same Manchester United, early in the season, were looking like nothing good will come out of Manchester United. They will still remain their old selves. But Manchester United are gradually building something from the result they have gathered. And it's actually working for them. So looking at the Chelsea game, after going up 1-0 in Stanford Bridge, a couple of minutes later, Sunderland equalized. And how on earth did they equalize? From a long throw. The same way Chelsea conceded a goal in the late minutes against Brentford from a throw-in, from a long throw. We actually didn't learn anything from that. The same way Sunderland used to get their equalizer at Stanford Bridge. And the game went on 1-1. In the second half, Chelsea continued to struggle. But then, this is where Enzo Maresca made mistake in that particular encounter. Bringing out George Achampong was not necessary, and introducing Tosin Adarabioyo, it was not necessary. George Achampong is not supposed to leave the pitch. If any of the centre-back was supposed to leave, since you wanted to make like-for-like changes, then Trevor Chalobah should have gone out. I mean, I watched George Achampong yesterday. That young lad was classic. No error, no mistake. He times all his tackles very well. And for the fact that he was playing as a left centre-back, kudos to George Achampong. He did everything right before he left the pitch. But no, Enzo Maresca went on to remove George Achampong and bring on Tosin Adarabioyo. That wasn't necessary. He also went on to take off Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho, from the left flank, was just the person disturbing the defense line of Sunderland. Why take out Alejandro Garnacho for Gustavo William and still leave Pedro Neto on the pitch? Pedro Neto was not at his best yesterday. He was killing the attack at every slightest chance going forward. He passed the ball backward. That was Pedro Neto's game. Enzo Maresca ought to have read the game very well. Yes, at that point in time, when Chelsea were lacking the cutting edge to break the defense line of Sunderland, we needed more creativity up front. All you needed to have done, instead of bringing in Tosin Adarabioyo, leave the defense line like that and introduce more attacking-minded players into the game, because Sunderland were sitting very tight at the defense line. They were not coming out, but it actually worked for them. If you take a look at this footage, this picture footage, how Sunderland got their second goal. When that long pass was put through to the Sunderland attacker, Tosin and Trevor Chalobah chased two of them, chased one player. And the Sunderland attacker had all the time in the world to hold on to the ball for his players to come in. Tosin Adarabioyo and Trevor Chalobah gave that attacker the much needed time till he got the backup he actually needed. And once he got that backup, what did he do? He laid the ball to his teammate, and that was exquisitely slotted down the left corner of the post, beyond the reach of Robert Sanchez. And that was how Sunderland got their winning goal at the 90th plus 2 minutes in a game that 4 minutes was added. If we couldn't get the winning goal to seal all 3 points, why not defend the ball in order to avoid conceding a goal? Tosin Adarabioyo and Trevor Chalobah actually cost Chelsea that second goal and cost us all 3 points against Sunderland last night. It was quite disgusting. That performance was unacceptable. Now I'm beginning to see the reasons, after spending millions of pounds on player signing, Todd Bowley and Egba Bagdali still giving Enzo Maresca a top 4 finish as a target and a good run in cup game. It won't work that way. If this is how Chelsea wants to be playing, a top 4 finish, if we are not careful this season, might just be far from us. Because with the way we are going, it doesn't look like a team that is consistent and want to be at the top. We are not looking like it. We are not. We perform good today. The next game we perform poorly. And so Maresca's tactical changes in that particular game also contributed in killing the game. And I see no reason why you have one of the best attacking players in your team in Estavo William, and you are just hell-bent in not using Estavo to start a game. The few games we have seen Estavo William start, we saw how attacking-minded and how dangerous Estavo William can be. We saw that against West Ham when we visited the Olympic Stadium to defeat West Ham by 5-1. That is Estavo William. The guy is always attacking-minded and can take on any defenders. But no, Enzo Maresca, I don't know what he is being protective about Estavo William at this point. I don't know. But the young lad have actually passed a message each time he came onto the pitch that I am fully ready to start any game. But Enzo Maresca is not actually looking at it from that direction. And we went on to lose in such a disgraceful manner to Sunderland. By the way, congratulations to Sunderland. Well-deserved 3 points. And for Chelsea going forward, I think our next match is the midweek in the EFL Cup against struggling Wolves. But then Enzo Maresca has to learn a lesson. I can't believe this is 9 games into the season in the Premier League. Chelsea don't have starting 11. At every Premier League match, we tend to predict what Enzo Maresca could come up with. We have not used a starting 11 consistently in 3 to 4 matches. It has not happened under Enzo Maresca. This is the Premier League we are talking about. You ought to know who your starting 11 is. And you ought to know how the tactical play and changes should be happening. But Enzo Maresca is unpredictable. The next Premier League game, you can't even tell who will start and who will not start. In as much as I've praised him in a couple of my videos that it's high time we give him his flowers because of his tactical prowess, the way he approaches games. But then sometimes overdoing it is not really good. And that is what happened in the game against Sunderland last night. And Enzo Maresca as well have to take the share of the blame. And the team also need to wake up. Putting up this kind of performance will take us nowhere this season. We might just end up as a mid-table club this season if we don't wake up and begin to take every match like a final. What do you make of Chelsea's loss at Stanford Bridge to Sunderland last night? And who actually impressed you in that particular encounter? And where do you think Chelsea actually lost the game? Drop your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in my next video.